Welcome to the Explainer. So think about Japan for a second. It's basically a 2,400-kilometer paradox. We're talking about a place where ancient, thousand-year-old traditions don't just somehow survive next to hypermodern advancements, they actually fuel them. Today, we're going to unpack the mechanics of this incredible harmony of contrasts. But hey, before we really get going on this journey, I've got a quick piece of trivia for you, straight from our sources. Do you happen to know the other name for Japan? Keep that question in the back of your mind as we navigate through this fascinating country today. Okay, here is our roadmap for the Explainer. We'll be heading Welcome to Japan, the modern metropolises, the cultural heart, history and resilience, majestic mountains and nature, and finally, tropical island paradises. Let's jump right in. Section 1. Welcome to Japan, the harmony of contrasts. All right, just consider the sheer scale of modern Japanese efficiency for a moment. The average train delay over there is literally just 18 seconds. 18 seconds. And the really wild insight here, this ultra-high-tech punctuality is actually driven by intense human mastery. The operators train so rigorously on realistic simulators that they can gauge and master their speed without even having to glance at a speedometer. But then, in absolute perfect contrast to all that digital precision, we have the hunko. Most adults actually bypass written signatures entirely. Instead, they rely on traditional, highly tactile seals made out of silk or plant paste for things like personal letters, banking, and even official ID. It's this totally fascinating layer of old-school analog trust that is just thriving right in the middle of a highly digitized society. Moving on to Section 2, the modern metropolises, fast-paced energy and innovation. Now, Tokyo embodies this fast-paced energy probably better than anywhere else on Earth. Get this, during peak hours, an estimated 1,000 to 2,500 people cross the famous Shibuya intersection in a mere 2 minutes. With all those massive LED screens towering overhead, it is just a breathtaking display of coordinated chaos and hyper-modern hustle. And of course, to fuel all that endless energy, you're gonna need some good food. Japan has a deeply localized culinary scene. Osaka's absolute mastery of dishes like takoyaki and okonomiyaki has rightfully earned it the nickname the Kitchen of Japan. Meanwhile, Yokohama is over there fusing international flavors with its signature ramen, and up in Hokkaido, they combat the northern chill with hearty Sapporo ramen and lamb barbecue. Honestly, the food is just as dynamic as the cities themselves. Section 3. The cultural heart. 1,000-year-old traditions. You know that tension between the old and the new is probably most visible when you compare the country's main centers of power. On one hand, you've got Tokyo's massive, sprawling, cutting-edge modern advancement. But then on the other, you have the preserved soul of Kyoto. It served as the royal center for well over a millennium, and it still breathes through its traditional tea houses, geisha districts, and a whopping 17 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. And this spiritual identity, it really grounds the entire nation. You see it in these living testaments to the past all over the place. From Tokyo's Sensoji Temple, which has literally been standing since the year 645, to those mesmerizing, vibrant red Tory gates at Kyoto's Fushimi Inari. Over in Nara, Japan's first capital, the massive bronze Buddha of Todaiji shares its lush park space with sacred free-roaming deer. And Kamakura boasts its own towering 13-meter bronze icon. The key takeaway here is that these aren't just ancient ruins. They are active, breathing spaces today. Section 4. History and Resilience. Hiroshima's Remarkable Recovery. Hiroshima's journey is just a profound testament to the human spirit. After the absolute devastation of the atomic bombing back in 1945, the city didn't just rebuild, it completely transformed. By 1954, the Peace Memorial Park was established, strictly to honor the victims and the historical facts. And today, that very same space anchors a thriving, super significant center of culture, economy, and education. Right at the center of that park is the Genbaku Dome. It was actually one of the few structures left standing from the original blast. And today, it serves as an impartial, incredibly powerful reminder of the devastating consequences of warfare. It really forces us to pause and reflect on the vital importance of peace and preventing future conflicts. Section 5. Majestic Mountains and Nature, from Mount Fuji to Hokkaido. You really can't talk about Japan's landscape without talking about Mount Fuji. Dominating both the skyline and the cultural psyche, it towers at 3,776 meters. This dormant, though technically still potentially active volcano is quite literally the indispensable heart of Japanese spirituality. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a natural wonder that has inspired centuries of art, poetry, and worship. Now, deep in the mountains of Shirakawa-go, human ingenuity meets a highly intense environment through something called Gasho-zukuri. It's a highly unique architectural style engineered specifically to survive massive, heavy winter snowfalls. The steep, super thick roofs are actually designed to mimic two hands pressed together in prayer. It's just a brilliant example of adapting to the forces of nature rather than trying to fight them. And depending on what you're looking for, these mountains offer completely different kinds of escapes. You can head over to Nagano, often called the Roof of Japan, for thrilling, top-notch ski resorts with true 1998 Winter Olympics heritage. Or, if you want something more low-key just outside Tokyo, you can retreat to Hakone. You can slow down in healing, mineral-rich hot spring baths while taking in some truly stunning views of Mount Fuji. So, high-speed thrills or absolute tranquility, it's entirely up to you. Our final stop, Section 6, Tropical Island Paradises, Crystal Waters and Coral Reefs. Far away from those snowy peaks, the southern archipelagos reveal a totally different side of Japan, packed with incredible biodiversity. Down in the Ishigaki Islands, the emerald waters of Kabira Bay are actually so pristine they're reserved specifically for black pearl farming. Miyako-jima gives you crystal-clear waters perfect for year-round diving and snorkeling through rich coral reefs. And then there's Kashiko-jima, providing tranquil coastal landscapes and some incredibly fresh seafood right out of Ago Bay. It's the ultimate serene tropical escape. So, from trains running with 18-second precision to temples that have stood for over a millennium, from snowy volcanic peaks right down to tropical coral reefs, Japan truly is a masterclass in the harmony of contrasts. Which leaves us with one incredibly tough question to wrap up on. Out of all these breathtaking destinations, which one would you choose to visit first? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep learning, keep exploring, and I'll see you next time.